We stepped in, the water's getting higher, up to our chins, breathing's getting harder, feeling alone, just us and danger, to leave our home, to become a stranger. From your place of comfort, Lech Lecha, into the great unknown. Lech Lecha, with a nation sure to follow, as we gaze up at Mediterranean skies. Take a soul strong. Lech lecha, from your place of comfort. Lech lecha, into the great unknown. Lech lecha, with a nation sure to follow. As we gaze up at Mediterranean skies, just take a step.
I'd like to invite everybody to come on inside and find your seats.
Shabbat Shalom. Good evening, everyone. As you're taking your seats, just want to say a couple brief security announcements. For your safety and security, please just take a moment and silence your cell phone before we start. I'd also like to draw your attention to the emergency exits and other safety features in the sanctuary. So please take a look around you and look for the red or green exit signs. Doors right on the nearest to you. There are exits on each side of the zebra and curtains, and there are also exits at the back of the social hall. And there's also on this side there is another exit on this side of the sanctuary as well. Here's the water fountain in the hall, and there's another fire extinguisher inside the sanctuary, inside the doors where you entered.
Shalom. It's wonderful to be here with all of you, and also with those of you who are online and not in 3 dimensions. It's good to have you with us as well. And the Shabbat, it's always a special Shabbat when we just to be together for Shabbat. And this Shabbat we also get to celebrate with Eliana Tabak and her family as she becomes bat mitzvah, so that's something special. And in a minute, you can stay there another minute, but after then you're going to come sit up here. You can stay there. Okay. So we're going to begin on page 24. Page 24 with Shalom Aleichem.
So along with the awesomeness of this being Eliana's Bat Mitzvah weekend, it's also 2 other notable occasions. I think most of us are aware that this coming Monday is the day we honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., so we'll be including some special moments honoring Dr. King in our service. And it's also the yahrzeit, the anniversary of the death now 13 years ago, of Debbie Friedman, one of our great Jewish musical artists. So we'll include a number of Debbie's compositions in our service tonight as well, the first of which is her, one of the last melodies she wrote for Shalom Aleichem, as Rabbi mentioned, on page 24. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Hasharet Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh HaKadosh Baruch Hu Bochem L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Alechem, join me. Shalom Alechem, Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruchuni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom. Shalom Alechem, Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Tzedchem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Alechem, Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
I'd like to invite Eliana and her parents and her siblings too to come up and help us bless our Shabbat candles. So I know siblings are spread out in the sanctuary, but here they all come. Invite all of you who are comfortably able to do so to please rise.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Now we're all going to join in our blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת.
You may be seated. We've been adding an extra candle to the Shabbat candles that we've been lighting for those who, due to the events of October 7th or the war since then, can't light Shabbat candles this week because they've been held hostage or because they've been killed, and so we continue to kindle light in their name and in their honor. We turn to pages 20 and 21. It's our custom to take a few moments before Lachadodi to reflect on the week that has gone by, and to spend just a moment on each day, on its challenges and on its blessings. So I invite you to maybe take a deep breath to center yourself in this time. Hazarat HaShavua, review of the week. We'll sing together verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And when we get to verse 9, I'll invite everybody who's comfortably able to do so, to rise and face the doors from which we entered, to welcome the Shabbat presence, the Nishama Yetera, the extra soulfulness that travels with us during Shabbat, into the congregation and into our hearts. For those of you who are joining us from home, we'll invite you to turn toward the doors of your home to welcome Shabbat, to fill the space of your home at this time when we get there as well. So Lachadodi, pages 20 and 21.
Lechadodi likrat kala la 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 Penei Shabban lehekabela Lechadodi likrat kala ya la la ya la la ya la la Penei Shabban lehekabela Shamor v'zachor B'dibor echan Hishmianu El Hamyuchan Adonai echan Ushmo echan L'shem multiferet V'litchila Lechadodi likrat kala Yalalai, yalalai, yalalai Penei Shabbat Mehekabela Lechadodi likrat kala Yalalai, yalalai, yalalai Penei Shabbat Mehekabela Likrat Shabbat Lekuven elcha Ki mekor habracha ראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת אללה יללה 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 פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת אללה יללה 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 פני שבת נקבלה Hitorevri, Ivaore, Umi Ori, Uri, Shiram Beiri, Kevod Adonai, Alai Nigla, Lechadoti, Nikrat Allah, Alalai, 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 Bene Shabbat. Hekabela, Hekadoti, Likrat Allah, Yalala, 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 Bene Shabbat, Hekabela.
Please rise and face the doors if you can comfortably do so.
Boi v'shalom, ateret bala. גם בשמחה ובצהולה תוך אמונה עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה Lechadoti Likrat Allah Yalala 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 Bene Shabbat Nehekabela Lechadoti Likrat Allah Yalala 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 Bene Shabbat Nehekabela.
We continue on page 26 with Chatzi Kaddish, and I invite Eliana to come lead us.
Oops.
Yid Gadal, Yid Kadal, Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma Divrach Hirute, V'yamlich Malchute, B'chai Achon, U'vyom Echon, U'payed Kol Beit Yisrael, Pargala, U'bizman Kariv, V'yimeru, Amen. Yahei Shemei Rabbah Mevorach, Le'elam Ulamei Almayah, Yitbarach, Yitbarach, V'yishabach, V'yipar, V'yitromam, V'yinaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitala, Shamei Dekudesha B'richu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'yimeru. Amen.
We continue with Baruch Hu, our call to prayer on page 28.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach, Baruch atah Adonai, Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam ba'ed. Praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due now and forever.
Lai la 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 lai, lai la 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 lai. Lai la 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 Baruchu et Adonai Hamevorach Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Hamevorach Le'olam Va'ed Hamevorach Hamevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Last three lines in the Hebrew on page 30, El Chai V'Kayam.
El Chai V'Kayam Tamini Mochaleinu Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'ma'ariv Aravim.
Page 34 and 35.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod, Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
We continue on page 36 with Ve'ahavta.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'chol nafshecha u'chol me'odecha. V'hayu hadvarim ha'elech asher Anohi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha uvlechtecha v'aderech u'shochbecha u'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'ftavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkiru ba'itzim ekol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim lelochim. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti echem me'eretz Mitzrayim le'ot lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
So we're on page 40. Special Mi Chamocha for this MLK Shabbat. When your children witnessed your power, they extolled you and gave you thanks. And yet we, your children, still need to experience your redemptive power in the world. We need hope. We need faith. In the words of Dr. King, with this faith we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will all be free one day.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, osei fele. Malchutecha ra'u v'anecha, b'kayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze'elianu ve'ameru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed.
And when this happens, when we allow freedom to ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up the day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will all be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last. Praised are you, O God, the Redeemer of us all. We turn to page 42 as we ask for a shelter of peace, badly needed shelter of peace in our world. And I think of this both in the broad sense of we need peace, we need people not to be being harmed and killed in our world, but also in the sense of each of us. We need a sense of shalom spread over us so that we can enter this world in wholeness and be a source of blessing to those around us. So we join in singing Hashkivenu and imagine that sukkah that we can spread over each other and that we ask God to spread over us.
Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, ve'amidenu shomreinu lechayim. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, ve'amidenu
Shabbat is that special time of the week that we're able to pause, to take a breath, to reconnect to our deepest selves, to a community, to God. And I'm grateful. I hope you are, but I know that I am grateful each week when Shabbat comes around to have those opportunities, and we remind ourselves of that gratitude and of the way that Shabbat helps to shape and keep the Jewish people by singing Vishamru, which we'll find on page 44.
Another Debbie Friedman composition. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat lidorotam berit olam Beini uvein bnei Yisrael, oti leolam. Beini uvein bnei Yisrael, oti leolam. Ki sheishet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz uvayom hasheni Shabbat vayinafash beini uvein bnei Yisrael oti leolam beini uvein bnei Yisrael oti leolam. V'sharu b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat lidorotam berit olam berit olam.
So on this Shabbat, we also, is this on? No. Yeah? Now it is, okay. On this Shabbat, we also have the opportunity to to welcome, to bless those who are here this evening and have joined our community in the last couple of years. So if you're somebody who became a member of Temple Beth Israel in the last 2 years, I invite you to stand up. I invite you to move into the center aisle for a moment. I know there's at least a few of you here. Jody, there you go. David, good. All right, and then I need a few other volunteers of average or greater height to help hold up a little canopy here. And I'm going to invite all of you to come up and stand under our canopy so that we can offer you a blessing. And then we have gifts too, but then there's room for you, David. There's room for you. Just squeeze in there. There you go. All right. Well, first, before we bless with the traditional words of our from our Torah, I hope that that Temple Beth Israel nourishes you, and that, and just as importantly, that you help nourish our Jewish community. That both of those things are true, a symbiotic relationship in which you add to the life and the vitality of the Jewish people and of this Jewish community, and that we are able to help nourish your souls and help you to learn and to grow and to, because we always continue to grow as human beings and as Jews throughout our lives. And I hope that is true for both of us always. And we are so grateful that you're here and part of our community, and that you get to, that your voice and your passions will become a part of ours, part of our voice and part of our passions as we move forward, and that each person that joins a community brings their vigor and vitality. And we're grateful for you for that, and we hope that we continue to be able to serve you and enrich you in the years to come. We're going to offer the blessing of our tradition.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and may God keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's light shine into you and through you to others. May God always be compassionate unto you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May God and all that is good be present for you in your life. May you find shalom, wholeness, and peace in your heart and your community. And may you join with others to bring our world closer to wholeness, to peace, to shalom. We say together,
Amen.
Are you going to hand those out as they come out down? Okay, they have little gifts for you, so as you head on down, you can grab those for households. Careful on our stairs, because they're not all the same length. That tricks people sometimes. We're going to turn to page 46. As we move into our Amidah, I'm going to invite Eliana to lead us once again. If you're comfortably able to do so, I invite you to rise.
Adonai sefetai tiftach uvi agita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your
your praise. Page 48.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzhak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'konei Hakol V'zocher Hasdei Avot V'imahot U'mei Geula Livnei V'neihem V'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai
Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Page 50. Atah
Gibor le'olam Adonai Mechayei hakol atah Rab lehoshia Mashiv haruach Umorid hagashan Mechader chayim bechesed Mechayei hakol b'rachamim rabim Somech noblim v'rovech holim Umatir asurim Umechayei emunoto Mishenei afar Michamocha bal kivurot Umidom elav Melech memit umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua Benaman atah l'chayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh
Hakol. Page 52. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please take a few moments for silent prayer, the text of your own heart, or the words of the prayer book through page 62, 63. When you're through, you may be seated.
Shabbat Shalom to everybody out there and in Cyber Shul. God, it's great to see so many people here tonight. Just wonderful. but such a good turnout. I want to wish Mazel Tov to the Tabak. Am I saying it right? Tabak. Okay, family, to Eliana, to all of the extended family here tonight. Looking forward to tomorrow's wonderful day. I'm going to dovetail on what the rabbi was talking about with shalom, and I'm going to be playing momentarily a group of pieces called Shalom Medley. That's what I call it anyway, because all three pieces have shalom in the title. They are Shalom Chaverim, Hevenu Shalom Aleichem, and simply Shalom Aleichem. All these are folk songs, with the exception of maybe the last one. And of course, again, with what the rabbi was echoing what the rabbi was saying, with the state of the world and the broken state of affairs that's going on, all the terrible things that are happening, I think we all need and yearn for peace, and so hopefully that will be happening sooner rather than later. So, Shalom Medley.
Thank you, Randy. So this week's Torah reading is Va'era, and it is we started what we think of as our Passover story over the last couple of weeks. And this week we have the beginning of the plagues. We have the first 7 plagues that are part of this week's portion. And as I was reading through the parasha, I was thinking of a couple of perhaps quick lessons that we could pull out of it. Reading the Torah reflectively and psychologically, I like to say sometimes that we are all the characters in the Torah, right? So, we are Pharaoh, we are Moses, we are these things. My reading of Torah is not reading Torah like history. I tend not to read Torah and say, did it happen exactly that way? I tend to read Torah and say, what's it mean? The same way, in a sense, if we had a dream and we were trying to understand, we would say, what's it trying to tell us? What's it trying to teach us along the way? I remember last year at this time, I was at a meeting with my colleague, Rabbi Julie Sachs-Thaler, and she mentioned how we are often like Pharaoh. That Pharaoh seems to, each time, right, there's a plague, Pharaoh seems to say, okay, and then not follow through. Like when the crisis is there, Pharaoh begins to change Pharaoh's behavior, but as soon as the pressure disappears, Pharaoh falls right back into his previous behavior pattern. I think that if any of us really thought hard about it, we could all come up with things in which something was going on. We really felt the pressure either from the inside or from the outside to make a change in our life, and we do, and it then becomes sort of short-lived, right? We don't stick with that change. We don't really make it part of who we are as soon as that exterior pressure is removed, right? That exterior pressure might have been that you were, I don't know, you were meeting with a trainer, right? And so you were doing all your stuff because you knew you were going to see the trainer again next week, and the trainer was going to ask you, were you doing your things? And then when you stop seeing your trainer, you stop doing that stuff, right? It could be all sorts of different kinds of things. It could be, but often it's about either internal or external accountability. When that disappears, so often we fall back into old patterns. We become like Pharaoh, who seems to, over and over again, begin to relent. Okay, and then not, right? And then, of course, just like in our lives, Pharaoh not relenting at the end, the consequences become worse and worse and worse when we don't deal with the things that are in front of us. Most of us could use more patience. I know that I can. Unfortunately, it's not something that is easily just acquired, right? Domino's doesn't deliver patience. So that makes it a little more difficult to get. But I can look at role models in order to learn how to persevere through frustration in order to achieve a goal. It's said of Rab Parida in the Talmud, it's in Eruvim 54b, who was an incredibly patient teacher. He taught his student the same thing 400 times. He'd teach, and the student would teach it 5 times, and the student would finally kind of get it, and then they'd come back a minute later, and the student would be like, I don't know what you're talking about. And it took 400 times, right, for the student to get it. That was a man with patience. But perhaps, inspired by Moses in this week's Torah portion, he walks into Pharaoh's court knowing that Pharaoh was not going to listen, was not going to let the Israelites leave Egypt without a struggle. And yet he keeps returning through blood and frogs and lice and insects, through cattle disease and boils and hail. Moses believed in his cause, and he never gave up. He had patience and persistence. And, have a little laryngitis this week, so it's a little challenging on my throat. He did have accountability. There was this God off to the side who was going to hold Moses accountable. After all, God was the one who said to Moses, go to Pharaoh, right? So that helped in his persistence and in his patience, in his being able to wait. Calvin Coolidge once said that nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful people with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are most important. My colleague Bonnie Koppel reminded me that persistence and determination, these are qualities that Moses brings to his negotiation with Pharaoh. Life will inevitably bring us challenges. This is true. We know this to be true. The trick then is to persevere in the face of challenges, to believe in our cause, to believe in our own talents and abilities, and to use these skills to enable us to remain focused on our goals and not let the obstacles we face deter us. Moses was not excited about taking on the challenges of bringing the Israelites from slavery to freedom. We know he argued and argued with God when he stood at the burning bush in the wilderness saying, "Oh, you must be talking to the guy over there." Or, "No, you don't mean me. They would be much better," right? Moses was not looking for this task. Yet having reluctantly agreed to head back to Egypt and meet with Pharaoh, he didn't give up, negotiating and negotiating and negotiating until Pharaoh finally relented. Moses wasn't even a good speaker, right? According to the Midrash, he had a heavy tongue, is what it actually says, a speech impediment from his early days in the palace. Good communication skills are certainly an asset. Yes, I think that a clear focus on what we want to achieve is really the key to prevailing through times of challenge. Patience, persistence, a focus on what we want to accomplish, and a willingness to try again. May Moses' example inspire us in our personal lives and as a community to renew our commitment to the ideals that we hold most dear. Shabbat Shalom. We turn to page 253. This is one of, Paul mentioned that it was the 13th Yortzeit of Debbie Friedman. And if you looked at Gates of Prayer, which was the prayer book before Mishkan Tefillah, there was no Misha Berach for healing in the prayer book. Just wasn't there. Really hadn't been a part of Reform liturgy, because for most of us it wasn't really part of our theology, right? Oh, if we pray really hard in the synagogue, God will make me better, or my sibling, or my parent, or whatever. It wasn't necessarily how we kind of thought God worked. Debbie wrote this Misha Berach that you find on page 253, and it quickly became a part of the liturgy in many synagogues. What Debbie recognized was that this wasn't irrational. This wasn't about, do I think that what I say, that God's going to do this because of what I do? It was about, we have people in our lives who are ill and are in need of healing, and we want to share that with our community. We want to put it out there. We want to join together and hold one another in the challenges that are part of our lives. And it would be I don't even know what the word is, that Debbie really was a revolutionary figure, right, in the shaping of liberal Jewish communities, their music and even the theology that we hold within our communities. And so we hold in our hearts all of those in our lives, in our community, in the world, in need of healing, of body, of mind, and of spirit, as we join in Misha Berach 253.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mikor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
We ask for blessings upon Rebecca Gilman, Hannah Fields Austin, Sue Toback, Rosalind Lefkowitz, Helen Weinfeld, Pam Poliakoff, Kathy Blumenfeld, Caitlin Antrim, Jennifer Rudin, Brad Holland, Serena Postal, Robert Strober, Joan Morse, Nomi Kravitz, Lori Snyder, Cherita Razadeh, Mike Klein, Joel Beasy, Gloria Foster, Rita Warshaw, Robert Gerard, Adele Harris, Brenda Found Gerard, Jan Marcus, Marla Fragoso, Al Shapiro, Jeff Nelson, Robert Waldman, Barry Gustafaro, Yudik Ratzdelang, Eva Laxon, Audrey Kubel, Deborah Delange, James Stead, Rita Elias, Stephen Gilbert, Sharon Zaki, Nell Barron, Oliver Holland, Bill Hughes, Ed Means, Stephanie Holland, Stan Stein, Virginia Guzman, Suzette Guzman, Marilyn Rudin, Claudia Phillips, Kenneth Phillips, Sandy Gunn, Ron Gilman, Julie Ben Simon, Eric Baldwin, Chris Gacci, and
Howard Bush, Mary Ellen DeMarco, Margie Waldbillig, Deb Levy. Mishabeirach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
I'd like to invite Stephanie Baker back up to the Bima to share some announcements.
Shabbat Shalom again. On behalf of the board, I want to thank you all for being here in the sanctuary, and those of you who are joining us online, thank you for being here. Toda Rabbah to Rabbi Kupitz for leading our service and inspiring us with the feeling of shalom tonight, and to Cantor Bush again for providing his wonderful musical talents for us as well. And to Dr. Randy Pullaway, thank you also for bringing the shalom tonight. It was a beautiful piece. I also want to thank Sean Peterson, who handled our technology tonight so expertly. I also want to send a big thank you to Eliana Tabak for being such a great leader in our service tonight. And I also want to thank those who helped contribute to our ONEG, our membership committee, and the B'nai Mitzvot families provided all the wonderful baked goods that we'll enjoy after the service. A big thank you also to all of our wonderful greeters that met you with some wonderful smiles and hellos as you entered the sanctuary. Kylie Sykes, Phyllis Blackie, Sharon Regalado, and of course Judy Rose. And thank you also to our wonderful security guards who help keep us safe while we can enjoy our services here in the sanctuary. As I mentioned, we do have some wonderful, tasty baked goods to enjoy after the service. So we invite you to come join us for Oneg in the social hall after services concludes to have kiddush, motzi, refreshments, and some conversation. And we hope that, again, we have a full house tonight, so we hope you'll take a moment to introduce yourself to somebody you don't know yet and again, help us to build our warm and personal Jewish community. I'll try to be quick, but we have a lot going on at TBI, so I just want to highlight a couple things. First, the offices will be closed on Monday, as will TLCC. So if you need any help from Barry or anyone in the office, it'll have to wait till Tuesday. I also wanted to just highlight on January 21st at 2:45, our Women of TBI group will be sponsoring Bunko in the social hall for anyone who would like to attend. Also, our team Zedek invites you to join us as we celebrate a refugee Shabbat on Friday, February 2nd at 7:30 p.m. This event is planned in coordination with the Global Jewish Movement HAIS's 6th annual Refugee Shabbat. And our Shabbat services on February 2nd will feature content that's related to refugees and will be followed by a special oneg with tables offering more information and actions that you can take to help support local refugee families. So we hope you will join us for that. And finally, I just wanted to note that in celebration of the Jewish Federation's 30th anniversary year, there will be an all-star cast that will present the musical Stars of David in our sanctuary on the evening of February 3rd. So you can find info about that event and tickets at jewishsgpv.org, or you can look in our Tekiah newsletter for more information. With all that information, I hope to see you again here at Shabbat services soon, and Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.
And I'm so happy that there are 4 Tabak kids, because I get to see, some of you I haven't seen since Matan's bar mitzvah, and then see you here, and then we'll see you again for Natai, and then for Libby. So it's like nice to kind of have recurring faces, right, in our community. It's a nice thing. Don't feel like first strangers anymore, right? You've been here before, so that's wonderful. And it's wonderful to have you with us this evening. We're going to turn now to page 282, in the middle of the page, Aleinu L'Shabbat.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשינו כגויי הרצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 287.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Page 294. We take a moment to remember those who have been important in our lives and who have left this earth, those who have died in recent days or in this time in years past. Remember the recent death of Benjamin Jones, and we had a service for Ben here in our sanctuary today. We remember the recent death of Shirley Urker, and Shirley's information about Shirley's service will be coming out probably tomorrow night. Just have been finalizing it with her son. And we continue to remember Barbara Fass as well, where there's a memorial service for Barbara on Sunday at Hillcrest, yes. We remember the Yortzites, the anniversaries of the deaths of Nancy Block, Daniel Horwitz, Henrietta Polster, Beatrice Braun, Phyllis Cataret, Edward Friedman, Zelda Eisenberg, Abraham Elhai, Irving Goldhammer, Lillian Patterson, Jay Schlossberg, Milton Wind, Jacob Brotman, Betty Fisher, Erwin Bernard Hirsch, Louis Kay, Natalie Lustig, Mamie Scher, Bertha Smillickstein, David Sugarman, Jim Aiken, Jess Gilman, Abraham Kravitz, Ralph Lewis, Morris Singer, Richard Alzerson, Kitty Friedman, Raymond Gearson, Dorothy Clan, Evelyn Leah, Harold Loeb, Alan Parker, Camilla Perlis, Diana Schifris, Harry Abramson, Dr. Norman Avnet, Beverly DePrisco, Louis Dubois, Alan Bud Friedman, Florence Harris, Theodore Malzahn, Lily Morrison, and Betty Parker. If you're remembering somebody on this Shabbat, would like to add a name to those that have been mentioned or restate a name that I've mentioned, please feel free to do so as I come by your row.
And all the soldiers of the guided.
Diane Shepherd, Jamie David Bush.
If you're in a time of mourning or observing a Yortzeit on the Shabbat, I invite you to rise. And I invite the rest of the congregation, if it's your custom, to rise and embrace in support of those who mourn. Kaddish is on page 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divrach hiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chaychon v'yomechon, v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mivrach le'olam olamei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei d'kudusha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata ta'niram v'yalma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom v'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru. Amen. Zichronam livracha. May their memories be for a blessing.
So we're going to stay on this page for our closing song. Again, one of Debbie Friedman's most sung melodies, one of her most effective, and one we'll use again tomorrow at the Bat Mitzvah just before we start this Torah service. So this is a good practice for those of you who will be also joining us tomorrow evening. And it starts out with little finger snaps. So, Ran. Snap and snap. You can do clap if you can snap.
Oseh shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'immeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'immeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'immeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'immeru amen.
For those of you who have joined us online, thank you for being with us. Shabbat Shalom. For all of you who are
Shabbat
here in the
Shalom.
sanctuary, please join us in the social hall for Kiddush, Motzi, refreshments. Shabbat Shalom. I'm kind of losing my voice a little bit.
You guys just make sure you guys get all the little pieces of sticker. We don't leave any. I love the big brow.
No one's gonna know. Yeah, no one's ever gonna notice that.
No.
It's like so big.
No one notices unibrows. They look totally
Bro,
regular.
no one's gonna notice. It's
Just
so
call me
like
bro,
big.
bro.
It's so big. It's so big.